So the Canadian government paid out billions of dollars in Cerb to people who lied about needing it. Now, that statement, I believe, is probably up for debate. When you think about what was going on when the pandemic hit, governments as well as the people had no idea what to expect next. They had no idea what this virus was all about. And the federal government was in a tailspin to not create another depression in our country. Now, all that said, so what happens next? Well, if you remember last year, there was a big thing going on in the news about seniors that had received Cerb, but they also were collectors of the guaranteed income supplement. And that guaranteed income supplement is based on your income from the previous year. And what ended up happening in that situation is the government turned around and forgave the seniors that had collected Cerb and reimbursed them for the GIS that they didn't get because of that. So the government can be, you know, what's the word? The government can have a heart sometimes when it matters. Now, mind you, there are a lot of seniors in Canada, and the governments know that if they annihilate those folks come voting time, it could very well be the demise of their party. Now, what do I think is going to happen? Well, I think what is going to happen is the government CRA is a big machine, and they have info on every Canadian, detailed info. And they're going to look into everybody that received any benefits from the government during that time period. And they're going to say, okay, that person's income was $120,000 last year. And they're going to say, okay, did they really need to take that money? Now, you've got to base this on the fact that the government has put themselves into debt, us, the Canadians, into debt, a horrendous amount of money, over $1 trillion in the last few years. Most of it is due to the pandemic, but some of it is also due to some of the spending habits of the Liberal government. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, I condone liberal or conservative or any of the above. I'm just saying that there has been a lot of money spent, and the governments need to get some of that money back. And there was also corporations that received horrendous amounts of money from the government during that period of time that probably, if they were a little more fiscally responsible in the years prior to the pandemic, they wouldn't have needed to take that money or as much of it. In the sense that a lot of big corporations like Air Canada and others in Canada who took the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy, if they hadn't have been buying back stock and giving large dividends to their shareholders over the years from the 2008 downturn or near depression, then they might have been in a better position to support their employees during this difficult time. So I believe that what you're going to see is the government is going to look at a certain income level. They're going to look at people who might have large assets. And they can tell all this stuff from when you do your taxes. If somebody pays tax on a lot of interest income, or has a large pension from a previous job, if they were a government employee and had a big pension, or a school teacher or something like that that had a big pension. So I believe that the government is going to comb through all of these records And then they are indeed going to start going after people for this money. Now, they have said that they're not going to be blatantly cruel in this function. They have said that they will ask people to pay the money back, and they will do it in a humane way. Whereas typically, when the CRA is owed money, they will go as far as to literally freeze your assets in your bank accounts and just take the money. So I believe that you're going to see, the money get retrieved from a lot of folks, but it's going to happen in a less intrusive way than how the CRA has acted in the past. So I wanted to bring this to your attention, friends, and I hope that if you are somebody who thinks that they might have to pay back some Cerb, if there's any constellation, you can be rest assured that the government isn't going to come and garnish your wages or freeze your bank accounts and your assets. They're just going to come back and try to get their money in a humane way. Anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. It helps my channel in the search algorithms in YouTube. And like the video. And this will help me to create more videos like this to keep you informed as a Canadian. Thanks very much and have a wonderful day.